90% of content conversations that I have are starting off with algorithm hacks. So, firstly, like, what is an algorithm hack? So, algorithm hacking is essentially like, what can you do to increase the reach, visibility, conversion of your content on social media? Now, there are some technical bits, right? And I will touch on some of the technicalities, but in my eyes, like, it's not about the technicalities. Like, algorithm hacks algorithm hacks are not like you should do these things because it tricks the app into sending your content and helping it perform better. They are, here are things you can do, because it's like, it's just basic biopsychology, right? Or biopsychology or human psychology when they're scrolling. All we are doing is playing towards that psychology and doing things that increase the performance of your content by interacting with people in a certain way. So some of the common stuff is like, comment on so many people's content in your niche, or message so many people in your niche, right? So these are like the technical things, okay? And from a technical point of view, if you comment on somebody's content, right, it will potentially show the app that you line up with that content. But from a psychology point of view, people will see your comment, and if it isn't just fucking dead like thumbs up or fire emojis, if it's something like genuinely funny or interesting or controversial, then they will like potentially click on your profile and be like, who's this guy? This is a new take. That is algorithm hacking, but it's based on the psychology, right? If you just go onto people's content and post fucking shitty fucking, like I say, fire emojis, or like just like the content or give them like a thumbs up or whatever, right? That, from a technical point of view, may do something. I don't know, I'm not the expert. From a biopsychology point of view, you have wasted an opportunity to highlight yourself as someone special, right? Think about it like when you tag people in your stories. Like, so let's say like I go to the gym, I tag the gym in my story, and I post that I've been to the gym. If I just tag the gym, anyone who goes on that gym's profile, yes, it'll be reshared. Yes, my reach will explode for that story. But anyone who goes on the gym's profile will just be like, boom, 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 boom. You know, like the fucking Hammy on Toy Story, like bashing the thing, right? That is like how they go through the reposts, right? But if your repost is something a bit different or edgy or stands out or something special, right? Then from a psychology point of view, people want to know. Like, if you ask a question on one of those stories, or you essentially open a loop, right? You present something without the full story, right? Or it's just something different. It breaks the pattern, interrupts the pattern, or just looks exciting, right? This is basic psychology, right? Algorithm hacking is, let's tag this person so when they repost me, I get all their eyes on my page. But you're wasting that opportunity if you are not making that story stand out in any way. And it works the same with comments. Like, if you go and comment on somebody's content like, oh, that's great, then that's, great. People might see that comment. Like, let's say that somebody's got a reel and it's going viral. Like, it's not gone viral because then people have already seen it. What's the point? But it's going viral. It's on like so many thousand views or whatever. I don't fucking know. Like, and to be fair, the definition of viral that I've seen that I like the most is like, is it do you have more views than followers? Because if you have more views than followers, your content has exploded, technically speaking, right? Because 9 times out of 10, any content you post won't get seen by all of your audience, right? But if your content is getting seen by more than all of your audience, then the algorithm is pushing it, therefore it's good. But if you find somebody's post and you put a comment on there and it's something controversial, so like, I don't know, let's say that they're saying like, oh, this is the best exercise for building your delts, and you comment on there and you're like, no, I disagree, I think this and this and this, like, straight up, don't be a prick about it, because there's far too many people who like keyboard warrior arguments and just like, I disagree with you, so you're a piece of shit. Like, that's not, no, that isn't how life works, okay? But if you disagree with somebody, you do have the right to say that. And by saying that and leveraging the fact that they've already got a shit ton of eyes on their content, you're sharing your unique take, or something funny, or something interesting, or something other than just a pat on the back, right? By doing that, you are drawing eyes to your comment and then drawing eyes to your profile if it's good enough, right? You can do that with your story repost, you can do that with your comments, all that kind of shit. That is one of the best algorithm hacks, because you are leveraging somebody else's algorithm or somebody else's audience to get eyes onto your page. The messaging people in your niche before you post, right? The thing about that is that if you have conversations with people, right? Let's say you message somebody on Instagram, somebody follows you, you message them and say, hi, thanks for the follow, and they message you back and go, cool, right? A lot of people think that that's like sleazy or weird or whatever, but if somebody, right, if you message me and I message you back, your content will show up at top of my feed, right? You will, when I log into Instagram, it will constantly throw me your content, whether it's new, whether it's old or whatever. It's like, oh, these people are friends. They want to see each other's content. And it works both ways, right? So when somebody follows you, they follow you, let's say they follow 500 people and they follow you at 501, you are fighting 500 other people for space on their little fucking phone screen, okay? It is difficult. But if they've only spoken to 50 of the 500 people and you're 51, suddenly you're not fighting 500, you're only fighting another 50. And that's a lot easier then to get seen. So when you post new content, they're more likely to see it, they're more likely to engage with it because they've seen it. When they engage with it, they're more likely to see more of it. You're more likely to be able to start a conversation with them. If you want to sell on social media, the starting point is being social, because the more social you are, the better you're training the algorithm, essentially. Like, if you message somebody and they message you back, you're training the algorithm on both ends to say, this is a friendly, this is good content. It works the same with like email marketing and spam. Like if somebody triggers like the promotions tab or the mark to spam, the blacklisted, the mark to spam, you're not going to see them. There's just somebody who's there, somebody who's emailing you, they're trying to give you content, they're trying to sell to you, but your inbox doesn't give a fuck, right? And that's how your algorithm will work. Somebody's here, they're trying to sell to you, they're trying to market, but your algorithm doesn't care because they don't see them as a friendly. If you message people in your niche beforehand, cool, doesn't matter when you do it, just do it regularly, and make sure you're doing things that get a response. Don't just try to sell, but try to engage, because if you engage, it puts your content in front of them. And if you are clever with your content and you create high converting stuff and you put the right stuff out, you're consistent with it, it's good quality, you are then showing up to that person. But if you never have a conversation, you are at the back of the queue, okay? Now, posting at a certain time, this is a really clever one, okay? Because from a buyer psychology point of view, I want you to picture it this way, right? So you're trying to sell something and you are, let's say you are a coach, because 90% of the people who follow me are, right? You're a coach and you're trying to sell your service to new people, okay? So when your audience is more active, that's when they're on their phones more, and when you post your content, it will show up on their screen. If you've done all the other bits, if you've made sure that you're visible, if you've had a conversation with them so that your content actually comes as a priority, and then when you post something, it will show as a priority. But if they are at work, because let's be honest, like a lot of people, like you'll be at your desk, you'll be doing whatever, you'll pick your phone up, you'll scroll through, there'll be a reel there, it doesn't have captions, it is just a new reel, something there, but it's not that exciting because it's just some more content, right? But now's not the right time to listen to it. So you swipe past it because you haven't got your headphones in and there's no captions on it and you're not that bought in and all that kind of shit. You miss an opportunity straight away, okay? If you post that same reel, instead of posting it at 10 o'clock in the morning when they're on a work break, if you post that same reel at 7 o'clock at night while they're sat on the sofa scrolling through the phone, you're more likely to see it, right? But you've just got to think about your customers, your clients, and when are they more likely to have time to engage with your content, right? Talking head stories, talking head posts, right? They notoriously perform really shitty compared to a lot of other kind of content, right? And this is like the virality kind of thing as well. Like if you're posting content that needs people's full attention, understand that you better be pretty fucking special to demand their full attention. Because most people are scrolling through the phone while they're sat next to the partner. So they don't want to listen to a 2-minute rant on a story that they can't fast forward, right? That's why they perform badly, because then people skip past them and then the algorithm goes, this content must be shit. It's basic psychology applied to social media, right? If you post talking head stories and you post them at 10 o'clock in the morning and most of your preferred client audience are at work, they aren't going to fucking listen because they're going to have to dedicate so much time to sit there and be able to actually watch that. If you post text-based, they can easily pause it, they can easily read it, right? And then you post your talking head stories when they can be asked to listen. This is it with the algorithm, right? It will show them once, and if they swipe past it, it's like, oh, they're not interested. Doesn't mean your content's shit, just means that you are not taking your customer into account, right? Because granted, if you post your content at 10 o'clock in the morning and you have messaged this person yesterday, so let's say timeline, you message someone at 7 o'clock at night, they message you back, cool, leave it. 10 o'clock the next morning, you post some content, but they don't pick their phone up till 5 o'clock, they're more likely to see that bit of content straight up because you are marked as a safe person, you have produced some content, and then it's there. when they pick the phone up at 5 o'clock, if it's the right kind of content for their person, for like their personality, for what they want to see, they'll watch it, they'll engage, they'll love it, right? It's not all about like fancy graphics and creating, super engaging content or super engaging or viral content. Most of the time, it's like the people on your page just don't want to listen to your bullshit 24/7. And that's fine, right? Like, nobody goes on social media to be sold to. But if you behave in a way that works with your ideal client's behavior, you're going to make it a lot further with your content. So if you combine those algorithm hacks with the simple psychology of like why they are important and why they work, you will get a lot better results than just ticking boxes, algorithm hacking, and still not getting results because you're still just not following your customer's profile. You're still not playing to their habits and their behaviors and their lifestyles. So some statistics to keep an eye on, right? If you're looking to get more eyes on the page, you want to have things with like you want to have something with a strong hook. You want to make sure it shows a lot of personality, bit of humor, a lot of value, that kind of thing, because it's going to get pushed to people who don't really know you, right? And when you look at like the sales funnel and it's like, are they aware of you? No. Well, you need to make them aware of you before you're ever going to sell to them, right? So to make them aware of you, you need to stand out from the crowd. How do you do that, right? You do a pattern interrupt. So make sure that your hook is like stopping them from the scrolling pattern, right? You then make sure that you give them something that makes you stand out, because if you just straight up try and sell to them, and this is what a lot of people who are running ads at the moment, especially in the fitness industry, they are running ads that are just selling, right? There's no proof. There's no uniqueness. There is just, are you a busy parent who wants to lose weight? And it's like, well, yeah, there are busy parents out there who want to lose weight, but when they have already been sold to 5 times already and swiped past them all, you're just another, like, it's just a waste. Like, you would be better off producing a wide range of content that adds value, that shows proof, some that sells, but the majority of it is just like selling without buy my program, because buy my program is bottom of the funnel shit. That's like, they already follow you, they know who you are, they're on the fence, and they just need a bit of convincing. So like, what makes you special, what makes you different? But if they're not even aware of who you are and you straight up try and sell to them, that is the equivalent of like standing on the high street and shoving flyers into someone's hand. Like, they don't give a fuck. They just want you to leave them alone and let them get on with the day. When they're ready and they come to you for a flyer, that's when you give them the sales pitch, right? But doing it off the bat doesn't work. So when they are already following you, though, like when you're trying to make content better for conversions, what you want to do is show a lot of empathy. You want to then start your sales pitch. You want to show what's unique about your service. You want to show the last few objections that they've got. Like, because if somebody already follows it, right, let's say that somebody knows what you do, they already follow you, they know who you are, they know what you do, and they are literally in your following, on the fence, like, I like what he does, but I'm not ready to buy yet. Why are they not ready to buy? Is it because they think you're too expensive? Do they need that belief reframing? Is it because they don't really know what the program includes? Do you need to show them a little bit of behind the scenes? Is it because they just haven't found the right non-awkward position to speak to you? Then that's when you start sending, messages to your followers. Like, it's simple psychology. None of this is like reinventing the wheel, hacking the algorithm. There's no like secret sauce to selling on social media. It is literally like, you are trying to sell to people. Why have they not already bought? Well, these guys don't know who I am. Okay, well, I'll create content that shows who I am without boring them to death and trying to sell to them, because I just want them to know who I am. Right, these followers, why haven't these bought from me? Well, they know who I am and they know what I do, but do they really know like what the benefits are? Or like, do they think I'm too expensive? Do they just not know the price? Is their perception different to mine? So like, I know I can help them and I know that they can afford it, but they think that I'm like twice expensive, or they think that they're going to have to give up the whole life. Like, what are the objections to handle? And that's like how your content works at different levels of the funnel. So top line is like, who am I? Why should you give a shit about me? Midline is like, what makes me different? Why? What is my service? What is it I do? And then bottom line is like, why have you not bought yet? And how can I handle that objection without bluntly tying you down and asking you why you haven't put money in my bank? And if you need a hand with any of this, this is all biopsychology shit. This is what I do. I create social media content, plans, frameworks, strategies. I also help with the critiquing, to reframe, real scripting, captions, carousels, all that kind of stuff, and killer email marketing to nurture that journey a bit more and to really nail down that last level of conversion. If you want a hand with any of that, drop me a message and let me know.